Oh, I think I'm here now. If anybody is here, I'll have to go click on the right video. Has anyone found me? I had some technical issues and yeah, I can see that I'm live. Okay, I've got a few people here. The Frankenstein and Tracy have made it to this one. Sorry everybody, it just wouldn't start. It just said reconnect, so I couldn't get it started on that thread thing, whatever it might be. So I'm here, and do say hi if you are with me. Gunmetal 24, hiya, nice to see you. And Frankenstein, how was the last Saturday of the year looking for you? It's looking pretty good because I'm here with you lot, so it's all good. How is the last Saturday of the year, actually the decade, looking for all of you? Kevin, thank you Kevin. Silver Wheel, Susan Mann, Valadina, hello, and Tony Easy, hiya. Thank you for finding me. Thank goodness for that. Completely tubed. Hi Smurfy, seems to work fine now. Brilliant, thank God for that. I didn't drop the light on my head and I didn't drop the phone on the floor. So as far as I'm concerned, winning. Hashtag winning. Hi Chris. Chris is here from Fragmental channel. Hiya Chris. So today, let's get comfy now, we're finally up and running. Today I've got some news for you. Basically we're kind of looking ahead at what 2020 has in store in the fragrance world, and I've got some news I've sourced from different places, so I'll be sharing that with you. And then after that we're going to sniff the new Centauri fragrances that are Peter from Fragrance View's new brand. So that will come at the end of all of this. So let me start off with, I've got some notes. Actually, no, come on. What's everyone wearing? What's your scent of the night? I'll give you mine. Mine is My Insolence. So it's fast becoming my absolute most worn fragrance. My Insolence has almond blossom, musk, vanilla, raspberry. What else? Can't remember, but that's kind of really what you get. Raspberry in the opening more so than the dry down. I think there's some flowers in here actually. There's definitely like an irisy feel, quite powdery. What's the flowers in here? Can't remember. Might be a bit of orange blossom. Not sure. It's very, very soft. It's not really a blatantly floral fragrance, and there's no violet in My Insolence. And Insolence, the whole range, is all the different flankers are all about the violet, but this one is not. In fact, it doesn't really belong in the line at all. Frankenstein, nice bottle, thank you. Silver Wheel is wearing Towers Cœur de Desert. Fragmental's wearing Bortnikov's Oud Monarch. Stefan, Guy Laroche Fidge de Soie. Frankenstein, Chemi Luna. Is anyone else like to share your scent of the evening, where you are in the world, what time of day it is? Valadina, me too, but one spray, it's too hot in Miami. Which one are you wearing when you say me too? Are you talking about this or something else that someone else is wearing? Comfort Incense is wearing Aura Sublime. I love that one. Beautiful powdery resinous vanilla. Gunmetal so sampling Javois Rose Millésime and Roberto Greco Uyez. I don't know that one. I know Rose Millésime. I've sampled that myself. A very nice, rich, quite simple rose, I thought. Not wearing any personal scent. Okay, so you're just like testing them on wrists or something. So it took me a second. What does that mean? Okay, right. I'm going to do my drink of the night. Carry on sharing what you're wearing. Right, Glory BG, hello. Scent of the Day and Night is Music for a While, Frederick Kamal. Case Stygen, Gourmand Cocon from our cottage in the mountains in Norway. How lovely. I bet it's bloody freezing though, isn't it? Yeah, you agree, Gunmetal, it's basic. It just didn't do enough for me to warrant sort of giving it too much attention, I think. Paul Edmonds Creed Tabarone. My drink of the night is the old staple vodka and Diet Coke. First one. Like, actually, I kind of did half a glass and then topped it up, so kind of first one. Peter, hey Peter. Peter's working, so he's sneaking in for a quick check-in, I think. Niels, hi. Fidel's by Histoire de Parfum. Susan is Queen by Queen Latifah. Wow, okay, tell me about that one, because I don't know that, and that's obviously an old school celebrity scent, so I'd be curious to know what that one's like. Right then. In the meantime, Keith, hey from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Scent of the night will be Centauri Dendera. Brilliant. So I have that right here. It's been on here for hours and hours. George Selleck, Louis by Guerlain. That's the LUI one. So that's the lovely, warm, resinous amber, beautiful fragrance. Susan, that My Insolence sounds wonderful. Yeah, I love it. I mean, whether or not it's your thing, I don't know, but I just adore it. It just gives you this powdery, slightly sweet, put together aura that's sort of feminine, not too try hard, it's not in your face, it doesn't hit anyone in the face, just gives you this lovely soft aura. Definitely a people pleaser. I've had quite a few people say that they really love it on me, so yeah, I just adore it. It's very comforting to me. Sandy Damadzik, hi from Washington DC, hello. Frankenstein's asking everyone about your best perfume this year. So what's your best fragrance discovery of the year? Yes, that is a good question. Love to know the answer for that. Definitely from everyone if you want to chime in. And I've already shared mine in a previous video, and I would say it probably was Bengal Rouge by Papillon Perfumery. Okay, UK Frag Guy, hello all, it's Murphy, hi. Peter agrees with me there, Bengal Rouge. So Peter got to try it quite a while before I did, and then sort of would make these teasing comments about how it's the best thing he's ever smelled, it's the best thing he's smelled all year, and he's not going to buy anything else, he just wants to get Bengal Rouge. And yeah, I agree, it is pretty special. Tracy, agree too. What are you wearing, Tracy? Right, so I need to calm down a little bit, I'm getting a bit breathless. It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? MTY Trader, hey, greetings from Houston in Texas. Houston, how lovely. Is it warm? I need to go somewhere warm, I think, quite soon. Oh, sorry, Tracy, you told me that already. I'm scatterbrain. Or it's Sublime for Tracy. Yes, we covered that, sorry. Okay. So today we are doing the year ahead for 2020. What is coming up? What have we got to look forward to in terms of fragrances and other things that might be going on in our fragrant world? So I have my newsreel in front of me and I'm ready to go if you're ready to listen. And of course, chime in. Silver Wheel, my best fragrance discoveries this year were Ombre Nuit by Dior and Walk the Sea by Caron. Not tried Walk the Sea. I did used to have a decanter of Ombre Nuit, which was a lovely rose, sort of incensey rose, would you say? Incensey ambery, very, very pleasing, easy to wear rose, very nice. So the year ahead, if you have any news or gossip, feel free to share it here. We are all friends here. UK Frag Guy, I'm really enjoying Roche's Moustache, EDP. Stefan, best discovery of the House of Rogue Perfumery. I've smelt a couple because Dan's let me sniff a couple very, very briefly. So I need to explore the house. He's got all the samples and that. So I think we'll probably end up doing a video on Rogue. It's getting a lot of love this year. It's coming up in the fragrance groups on Facebook a lot. Everyone's loving it. Chypre Siam seems to be the one that everyone's talking about. And that mousse one. Mousse in the house. Mousse Illumine, I think it is. Okay then, so let's get on with some news. So this I found on Fragrantica, and I found out about the House of Caron. I don't know if any of you enjoy the House of Caron. It's been going for many years and it's never stopped producing perfume. They actually just have now got a new perfumer, a new in-house perfumer called Jean-Jacques, and they'll be releasing 4 fragrances in 2020. And they are using IFF for life, ethical naturals. So what that means is they're ethically sourced naturals that come from the big fragrance, I think they're fragrance and flavours producer, IFF. So the fragrances are Rose Ivoire, which is rose pepper, sweet, powdery and musky. So that sounds quite nice. Then there's Rose Ebene, which is EBENE, Rose Ebene, and that is made with a natural coffee absolute CO2. It's a darker and bitter fragrance with rose, woods and patchouli, so that sounds quite nice. Tobacco Noir, and that's a woody tobacco with patchouli, tonka and cedar. Not sure if that sounds that exciting, but you never know. And then Tuberose Merveilleux, and that has ylang, ginger, vanilla and balmy notes. So they are coming out from the House of Caron in the next year, and it's from their new perfumer. So that's something to look out for. Is anyone interested in any of those fragrances? Do you like the House of Caron? Have you got a favourite from the House of Caron? Andrej Z, hello from Manchester. Scent of the day was Armani's Queer Majest. Right Glory BG, my best discovery for this year is TAFE by Ormond Jane. British brand, would like to try Tolu and Montebac. Stefan, longevity is very hit and miss. I think we're talking about the Rogue with that. Peter, I guess if they're mainly natural, oh sorry, you're all talking too quick. I guess if they're mainly natural, Stephen, that'll be why. Oh, that's for the Rogue, okay. Susan Men talking about the Queen Latifah fragrance. Doesn't smell like a celebrity scent at all. A nice boozy sweet smell due to the cognac and either the amber or the vanilla. It's wonderful. Okay, I will have to try and check that out then. It's not something I see anywhere ever, so I will have a look and see if I can find it. Peter's only tried Nuit de Noël from Caron and it was a scrubber. I tried it in the Caron boutique in Paris, and I think I tried I think it was the EDT, and I really liked that, and it reminded me a little bit of Guerlain's Le Bleu. But the lady let me have a sample, and the sample she gave me, which was really generous, was actually the Pure Parfum, and that was extremely rich and a bit too sweet, I guess. But I thought it was nice. I wanted to love it because I heard a lot about Nuit de Noël. A lot of people use it as their Christmas scent. So I did want to love it, but I found the Pure Parfum was too rich. A Gunmetal Tobacco Blonde is my favourite, so that's Caron. Stefan, new Carons are exciting. Laura Hannah, Stars. Portrait of a Lady is my signature. I wore that last night. Love it. Amazing rose, really feisty rose. Frankenstein, the coffee one piqued my interest from your description. Yeah, that sounds nice. So that's got this natural coffee absolute CO2 and the dark and bitter sort of bitter notes, woody and patchouli and the rose. So it sounds pretty good. Hip Hop number 1 recently bought Aaron Terence Hughes Tobacco Oud and Vanilla. Love it. There's a lot of hyped fragrances just now. Good to stumble on gems, definitely. You've got to really sort the wheat from the chaff in this world, I think. Steve Simmons, hiya, good evening. MTY Trader, as a daily practice, is it crazy to always spray one frag in one hand and a completely different one in the other and go about one's day in double delight? If you are in delight, then it is not crazy and it's not wrong. I do it all the time. I'll do, hey, Eugene. He always calls me Clarice. Clarice. And he's wearing Frederic Malle Dawn. I often wear different things on different wrists, or something, one thing on arms, one thing up here, just so I can enjoy as much of my fragrances as possible, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. Peter, has Portrait of a Lady been reformulated? I think maybe Eugene will know about that, if you can help out with that, Eugene. Gunmetal wants to try Narcissus Noir from Caron. Laura Hannah, sweetie, what are you doing? Laura Hannah, don't think so, Peter. Don't think it's been reformulated. People talk about vintage Portrait of a Lady, but I don't know. I really don't know. UK Frag guy saying hello to Eugene. Eugene saying hello to everyone. DC Jim R. Hi, DC Jim R. And he does the same thing. He sprays different things. And Laura Hannah gets lots of compliments on Portrait of a Lady. Eugene recently got the body and hair oil Portrait of a Lady and like it better than the Eau de Parfum. That's interesting. Why do you like it better? Is it because it's not so loud? Because I do find Portrait of a Lady excessively loud, really massively jumps off my skin. Let me know why you prefer that, Eugene. UK Fred guy, Eugene, the man who made me also addicted to Galan. I need someone to blame. That's hilarious. Right, I'm going to take a sip of my drink and we'll go on to the next part of my news broadcast. I've been feeling this could go on a while. I hope you've all got a bit of stamina. So this is a rumour, and actually it's quite cool that Eugene is in the building because it refers to Guerlain. This is from an undisclosed source. Eugene, you might have been privy to this source. Samsara is being reformulated back to its original formulation, maybe because Guerlain own a Santal album plantation, and so they basically have access to that sandalwood, or a very, very close sandalwood that was in the original formulation. If you've got any information on that, Eugene, do let us know regarding Samsara. Samsara. So Eugene's saying that the Portrait of a Lady oil has a pop to it that it doesn't find in the perfume. Okay, does it last long? Does it give any sort of projection? Stefan, oh my god, this would be the best news. Love Samsara, own 4 bottles. Fragmental's got vintage Samsara. Samsara is gorgeous. I don't wear it. I think it is that sandalwood note is so heavy. I love it on my mum, and on my mum it's quite soapy and clean smelling, but she really enjoys it and it just suits her really well. So I got my mum a bottle a couple of years ago. Gunmetal vintage Samsara has the most beautiful Mysore sandalwood note in the base. Yeah, so what these people were saying at this undisclosed source is that this Guerlain forest, or whatever it is, of Santal album, because they've got that, and apparently someone has said that they are reformulating it back to, or as close to, as what it was in the original. We have Sarah Mccartney in the live chat. Hi Sarah. If you don't know, I'm sure you all do, she is the brains and the talent behind 4160 Tuesdays. Peter, Guerlain has gone down the toilet in recent years. I'm certainly not putting my Guerlains down the toilet. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next piece of news. So Parfums de Nicolai. So this one, I'm going to give you my source. Where did I find this? I think I found this on Safle Bon, actually. So Parfums de Nicolai are releasing a fragrance on the 27th of January, and it's called Angelis Pear. Angelis Pear with notes of rose, jasmine, oak moss, and it's going to be an eau de toilette. It's going to have a similar pear note to what was in Musk Intense. So I really like the sound of that one. Has anyone tried Musk Intense, or are you interested in a pear fragrance from Parfums de Nicolai? Do you like Parfums de Nicolai? I like their offerings. Oh, thank you. Thank you, MTY Trader. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you. I like a lot of Parfums de Nicolai. There's not that many that I completely love, but my favourite is the Neroli Intense. I really like that one, so I think that's on my wish list. I'm going to buy a bottle of that at some point this year. It's a very rich neroli, almost like a winter kind of citrus. Gunmetal didn't like Musk Intense. Yeah, I don't think I've tried it. Now I know it's got pear in it. I kind of want to try it because I really love pear. So I'm going to move on because I've got loads. I've got so much to tell you all. Sarah McCartney, love Patricia, and my favourite is New York. Yeah, are you talking about the original New York, Sarah, or the New York Intense that's the only one available now? I know Dan, Mr. Smelly, loves New York Intense. Gets a lot of love actually, doesn't it? Okay, next piece of news. I don't think I can read this out. I might come back to that. Right, moving in a slightly different direction. Essence 2020, I'm going to be going, and also Mr. Smelly's going to be going, so we'll probably travel up there together, and kind of looking forward to what is going to be there, who we're going to meet. I found it a really great opportunity for sort of networking, meeting up with perfumers, brands, other reviewers, bloggers. It was just a really lovely event, so excited to be going back. And breathe. But it was mad. Essence is so busy, and you end up smelling too much, and you just lose track of everything that you smell, and you kind of get a bit numb, very quickly numbed to everything. And my cat is at my feet. She wants to jump up, but it's not happening, sweetie. I know. So who has been to Essence? Who is going this year? And Sarah McCartney's got the original New York, not the New York Intense. I'm sure lots of people would be jealous of you, Sarah, now that you can't get that one anymore, but then you've got an amazing collection of vintage discontinued stuff. UK Frag Guy needs one big meetup event each year. Yeah, UK needs one. Yeah, it would be great to have one in the UK. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip to Sarah's news. While Sarah's, I'm sure she's a busy lady, so I'm going to skip to what Sarah's shared with me, so then she's available to answer any questions. We've got a lot here. This is on my laptop, so bear with. Here we go. Right then. Are we sitting comfortably? So Sarah from 4160 Tuesdays, she will be collaborating with lots of people in the coming year. She's pretty much got her whole year already planned out. She collaborates often with writers, brands and communities. There's all sorts of stuff that happens in 4160 world. Sarah, if you want to share your group name for people to sort of stay informed, then feel free. And you just find everything out if you go to Sarah's group on Facebook, if you're a Facebook person. She's going to be launching Meet Me on the Corner, which was a crowdfunding perfume, and that should be coming out in February. And she'll be launching that at an event called Scoop, and it's a small brand fashion and accessories trade show in London. So if you're a Londonite, stay tuned, and you could potentially go along and actually smell it the day it's released, so that would be pretty cool. The Darkest Bloom, that's a fragrance by the brand, due to be released in April with the German edition of Shadow Scent. That's a book by writer O.M. Freestone, and the publisher would like me to meet more of their writers because Sarah loves fiction and fragrance together. Sarah's got a book which I read quite a few years ago now. It's a fiction book about fragrance and people. It's just lovely. I thoroughly enjoyed reading that book. And I've actually got the Darkest Bloom here. So this is to do with Scent Enthusiasm, and I'm sure Sarah will elaborate or correct me if I make any mistakes here, but there's a Patreon channel on Patreon channel. You can pay a small fee, I think it's a monthly fee, and depending what level you choose to pay, there's online training, there's updates on the brand. If you're a would-be perfumer, there's online training resource there, and you get to smell things before they come out. So this is called the Darkest Bloom. I don't know the notes, Sarah, so if you could share the notes. I can't actually share. It's the Darkest Bloom, and it's part of this, because I signed up to the Patreon thing, it's part of that. I think there's a quarterly perfume that you get in this 9ml size, and the Darkest Bloom is a really rich and plummy, fruity kind of, fruity floral, is it? It definitely feels rich, and I don't know if there's plum in there, and I'm scared to say too much because Sarah's right there, but and that, what I mean is I don't want to start saying, oh, I smell plum, when maybe there's no plum. I really don't know what the notes are, but it's a rich, fruity, rosy type fragrance. To me, it's plummy. It kind of reminds me of like, not exactly wine, but like the thickness of wine. Let me have a look at comments because I'm losing track. Oh, PM Freestone. Okay, that was the author's name. So the Darkest Bloom is aiming to be the scent of a magical flower. It's more important what you smell, not what's in it. Yes, I know. Okay, so to me, it definitely feels like a wine, or almost like a thick alcohol drink, very rich and red and almost burgundy, and just kind of like rosy with a sort of woodsy sweetness. So that's the Darkest Bloom, and yeah, you can sign up to the Patreon if you're interested in perfumery. It's a really good online source, and you get to smell stuff. I think if you're in the UK, you get to smell things earlier than everyone else. Sarah Mccartney, it's a Divana and Buchu Magnolia, Osmanthus, bit peachy, lots of musks. Thank you. Scott, what's your thoughts on Aaron Terence Hughes? I haven't tried them yet. I'm very curious. Obviously, he's getting a lot of love at the moment, so very curious to try those fragrances. I haven't yet. If anyone else has, please help Scott out. Sarah's saying there's also a Mandora citrus essential oil. Sweetie, cat's just coming up here now. No, sweetie. So Mandora citrus essential oil and bergamot, basically describing it perfectly. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so that was, we've still got more for Sarah. So that was the Darkest Bloom. So Sarah loves working with fiction, putting scents to fiction. It's kind of an idea I had a little while ago, was figuring out a way of having a book, not exactly scratch and sniff, but a book with scents actually attached to it, so you could read the story and smell the relevant scent at the right time. So imagine like the story takes you into an ice cream parlour, and then you smell the scent of the ice cream parlour, and just make that book come alive. I think that would be really nice. Something I think that would be fabulous, especially for anyone who's lacking in a sense, i.e. doesn't have the full eyesight or ears or whatever. Then they get the nose option. Sweetie, my cat's being a pain, she's trying to get on my lap. So there's been many calls for all the trial versions of Clouds. So if you're not aware, Clouds was crowdfunded this year still, and it's there's two versions there, or there's more than two versions, but there's the one that's got the expensive naturals, and then the one that's made with the expensive stuff is actually replaced with synthetics. And now Sarah had some mods of that, and she sent out samples to everyone in the group, or those people that got involved in the crowdfunding, and lots of people fell in love with some of the mods that didn't make the full cut. I think I'm explaining that right, Sarah, let me know if I'm wrong. A lot of people loved Thunderstorms, and I remember that one. I didn't love that one as much. I was mad about Fluffy Lemon Top, and that was a really beautiful, I mean, fluffy lemon top, the name just covers it. It's just a gorgeous lemon gourmand, very, very fluffy. So Sarah's actually working on making Thunderstorms, and she's already done Fluffy Lemon Top, so I'm really pleased about that. I'll definitely be buying some of that because I really loved it. Let's just check my comments quickly. Who have we got here? Oh, Talking With You, hiya. John, okay, it's fine, you're talking about yourself. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So Fluffy Lemon Top's almost ready to release. Excellent. Please let me know when it's available, Sarah. I definitely want to get some of those, or some of that. So all the cloud variations were made with the old oak moss, and you can't actually use that anymore. So Sarah's having to reformulate, and the new versions are in development, but there's not a great deal of difference between the new and the old oak moss. So the new oak moss that Sarah is allowed to use, so she's not too worried, and she's adding spinach absolute to make it up. And then once the two clouds have been done, she's going to kind of mix the two together. So the expensive one with the cheaper to make one. She's going to sort of reconjig one that's going to be called Both Sides Now, and that gives you some of the expensive naturals, some of the synthetics. So it's kind of like a meet in the middle in terms of the price range. And finally, talking of costs, she is going to have to look at her prices because of the expensive materials. Sarah always tries to keep things as affordable as possible, but she may have to acknowledge that the expensive materials mean some of the prices might have to go up. As she's got now 15ml bottles, so you saw the 9ml. The 15ml is just a miniature of what the other 4160 Tuesday bottles look like. So it's just a cute little 15ml. I personally love a 15ml. I think they're perfect. They're perfect for us people that have a lot of fragrances or who like to collect and have different ones. Let me just quickly check my comments. Oh, George is in the room. Hi, George. The Sense of Me is here as well. Hello. DC Jim R loves Aaron Terence Hughes. Aaron Terence Hughes fetish. Chris, Aaron Terence Hughes is fabulous. John Snow, oops, hey, first time I think I've watched a live stream, actually live at the time. Hi, John. Frankenstein definitely would like to sample her work. Centauri, Benjamin, hello, Ben. Ben from the channel Centauri. I watched him live earlier on Instagram. That was fun. Sorry I had to shoot off. But if you don't know Benjamin, go and check out his channel and check him out on Instagram. DC Jim R, dying to try 4160. Comfort in Sense, I'll be reading it again, Sarah. Yeah, I need to read it again as well. Sarah Mccartney's fiction book. Is that still available for people to buy, Sarah? If you are still here, let us know if people can buy that book. So I've got more information regarding 4160 Tuesdays. So we've already talked about the Enthusiasm, the Patreon channel, which is doing really well. And then there's going to be 4 fragrances are coming out, and they'll be released to the Enthusiasm Patreons in March, June, September and December. So if you're in the UK and you get on that Patreon channel, sign up, you'll get to test all of these 4 fragrances, which are based around the new address for 4160 Tuesdays headquarters. And there is Hammersmith, Goldhawk, Brackenbury and Ravenscourt. Sarah's going to be starting with Hammersmith, which is going to be a tea and biscuits fragrance, because Hammersmith is a splendidly diverse borough, and Sarah wants to have tea and biscuits as a symbol of Britishness, forgetting our differences and remembering what we have in common. So I am really excited about that one. I love the sound of tea and biscuits. It's a comforting idea. It's the answer to everything, isn't it? Have a cup of tea. Dunk a biscuit in your cup of tea and everything is fine. Okay, we've got more. So the details for the other fragrances, not finalised yet, but Ravenscourt's going to be the Gothic one. Brackenbury will be a green woods one, and Goldhawk saffron and spicy. So I think I might have covered everything. Let's just check. Sarah just says that she thinks it's really important that people get to understand what's really in perfume, what's safe, what's restricted, what's beautiful, what's expensive. So, and there'll be a lot of work there'll be a lot of workshops in 2020. So if you are able to get to London, I went to a workshop quite a few years ago now, and it was brilliant. I absolutely loved it, and I highly recommend it. If you want to get to smell raw materials, learn all about how they work together, and just absorb Sarah's knowledge and experience and her wonderful stories from the fragrance world, then I would strongly recommend going to a workshop with Sarah Mccartney at 4160 Tuesdays. So I think I've probably covered all the 4160 news. Sarah, if there's anything else you'd like to add, please just go ahead if I'm missing anything, or I just need to breathe. I'm getting out of breath. Yeah. Any questions for Sarah Mccartney, then obviously do ask. I don't know. I think you're talking amongst yourselves in the comments. If I've missed anything, just repeat yourself and I'll pick it up. So I've covered it all, have I, Sarah? Brilliant. So what I'm going to do is pick up my bit of paper and we'll go back to the news I haven't quite got round to from my bit of paper. Okay, so where do we get to? What we're looking forward to in 2020, apparently I've already disclosed this, that Katie Puckrick will be coming back to YouTube in January. Sam from My World of Fragrance bumped into her at yoga, and Katie has said she is planning to come back. I can't get that confirmed anymore. I did try, but unfortunately I can't get it confirmed. If I find anything out about that, you know that I'll be sharing that with you all. And then just going to share a couple of things personally for me, what's coming up in the year ahead. I won't bore you too much with all of this, but I'm going to invest in myself a little bit vain, but I want to get eyelid surgery. So my eyelids kind of like hang down onto my eyes. I'll use a sticker. This is the one that's worse. So I actually have a sticker here to give me an eyelid, otherwise that lid just sits on my eye and it's really annoying. So I'm saving up to have my eyelids surgically removed, and maybe a bit of a brow lift, but I know some of you are not going to agree with that, and I'm not advocating it. It's just what I want to do. I've done my teeth. I'm nearly finished doing my teeth. I'm really happy with that. I need to sort out a healthy eating and exercise plan, because I'm very yo-yo lately, and at the moment I'm the side of the yo-yo, so I need to sort that out. I'm also considering getting a life coach, but that's something I'm just sort of toying with at the moment, just to like get myself exactly where I want to be. So it's more about not knowing what you want. I think once I've got a goal, I'm quite good at achieving goals, or I think most people are. I think you've got a goal in mind, but sometimes it's deciding what you want to do with your life. So and the other Jon Snow, eyelids removed. You do get new ones, don't you? Yeah, now all they do is they remove a bit of excess skin. They can do it under local anaesthetic, so you don't even have to go under full anaesthetic. So yeah. Gunmetal, struggling to stick to my diet. I'm using holidays as an excuse, which is so lame. That's the problem. And I think because holidays is one of my favourite things to do, and I do it quite a lot. So if you go on holiday 4 or 5 times a year, every single time you go, you like let yourself have as much food as you want and whatever, then you just can't, you can't possibly, you just undo any good work you might have done for the rest of the year, I think. So Jon Snow, that means you'd still need to watch them over your eyes. No, I think your eyes would be closed and then they would cut. Yeah, we probably don't need to go into this. I'm just concentrating on what the result might be rather than the actual operation. Peter, if it's affecting your vision, go to your GP. I know what you're saying there, Peter. I just don't know if I could be if I could exaggerate it that much, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure I could get away with it, but yeah, it might be worth a go. It could save me a fortune. Presidian, have you looked into keto, Claire? I was scared at first, but it's reversed my diabetes. I was doing keto for quite a few months and I had amazing results, and I wasn't really following it properly. I was eating a lot of cream, too much cream, but I definitely lost it. I lost half a stone very, very quickly, and then I slowly lost a little bit more, and then I kind of plateaued because I wasn't really doing it properly. And then I went on holiday, and then the rest is history. That's the problem, is like as soon as you start eating carbs again, I feel like it goes on even quicker. So finally, in my own personal stuff, was frag related, as I shared already, but I'm going to share it again for those of you that didn't see that video. I am releasing my own perfume next year. So I'm working with an indie perfumer. I'm not going to say a lot at the moment, just that I've been working with, or been talking to this person, arranging things for the last sort of 9 months. Yeah, about the last 9 months this has been going on. It wasn't something I set out to look for. I never thought that anyone would want to work or be that bothered to work with me because I'm so small, but it was something that I knew that I'd love to do, but I was never going to ever approach anyone or ask anyone. But it just kind of came about, a really nice serendipitous kind of meeting with someone who I really like, and I really like their perfumes, and we're working on something that I think is really, really good. So Sarah, darn, I missed out there. Sarah, if you'd have ever said to me, I would have snapped your arm off. But yeah, it's really, really exciting. And the person that I'm working with trained with someone really, really awesome as well. So yeah, it's really good. Steve Simmons, good luck. Thank you. Tracy, I like your tasting perfumes. I can't wait to see what you create. Honestly, Tracy, I think because we have a lot of similar tastes, I think you are really going to like it from what we've got so far. I'm really pleased, really, really pleased. So that's that piece of paper done. So that's that done, and I've got some notes just on another bit of my laptop. But I'm going to breathe and have a sip. And then I've got some snippets of news from a few different brands here. Let's just... so Presidian, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, talking about YouTube reviewers. There's a new one to check out, The Scented. She really knows her stuff, female reviewer. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll check her out. Everyone else, check her out. Up the women. DC Gym Art, it's sure to be a beautiful scent. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I'm not making it so I can say yes, it is. It really is, based on what we've got so far, and it's only going to get better, and it's already stunning. Rich Mitch, I'm sure you said this to me before. Am I drinking Midnight in Paris? Not quite, but yeah, similar. Yeah. Okay. Jon Snow, I'm not being controversial. You hoping to make enough for a Ferrari with your new fragrance? No, you're not being controversial. The profit that I might make from the first batch would probably buy me 3 designer perfumes. There's not a lot of money in small batch indie perfumery, but if I would have done it. Obviously, I would have done it for nothing. I would have done it for my cost. So, and I am investing myself. I'm investing my own money in it as well. But yeah, it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's just an opportunity that I had to take. So yeah, really, really excited about it. Rich Mitch up, hashtag up the women. Yeah, probably could have phrased that slightly better. So yeah, so actually I think there was one bit of news I forgot to mention. Oh. Here we go. Yeah, so I found out what Jeremy's new fragrance is going to be called. And I think that we know about, obviously, dates out, and I think there's going to be one called Clubbing. I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's actually going to be one called Basement Wank, and there are notes of dank cellar, desperation, and a natural CO2 extract of flat pack furniture, ethically sourced from IKEA. And Jeremy's been quoted as saying this is for his most loyal of followers. Kill me now, sorry. Oh God, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, let's move on from that swiftly. I was not going to do it, and then I thought, you know what? It's just a joke. It's British humour, guys. I know I'm not talking to you, but anyone that watches this later can call me a hater. Okay. And breathe. So I'm going to just do the last bit of notes here. So SP Parfums. So he has one out now. It's out now, available now, called Sea Salt Tar. And that has notes of salted seaweed tar, cassis immortelle, Turkish rose, jasmine, tuberose, azure marine accord, juniper tar, artemisia, cardamom, cloves, tonka, amberwood and musk. And that one Dan and I smelt on a video that you'll see in my history quite recently. Me and Dan sniffed some new stuff, so you can smell along, you can watch that one to see what we think of that, but that is now available on his website. He's let me know that cassis, the Christmas cassis, is going to be discontinued on the 3rd of January. But there will be a new cassis version which will be coming in March and April. The cassis is lovely. Cassis, is that, I think it's blackcurrant, isn't it? But it's a really rich, fruity, and I find a slight curry aspect to it as well. So I'm interested to see what the reformulation will be like. Let's just check the comments. Jon Snow, who wouldn't want some orange drawers from IKEA? Sarah, no, don't worry, no one heard you. Oh, Robe Zoe, hi Mark, thank you. I think you just caught me at the worst possible moment. Just pretend you didn't hear that. Rich, Mitch, Amberwood, Amber wouldn't, more like. Dan Spanos, hi Dan. Dan is such a great supporter of the fragrance community. Always makes nice comments, shares all the reviews in his Facebook group. Was it reviewers? Is it reviewers lounge? Is it, Dan? Let everyone know. Sarah Mccartney saying blackcurrant bud absolute, cross between Ribena and cat pee. So that's what cassis is. And more SP Parfum news. There is going to be a limited edition, kind of like a flanker to SP Musk. So SP Musk was my other favourite fragrance of the whole year. I really loved it. And Sven is releasing one called Tonka Musk. So that is just basically, I think it's going to have an extra tonka in it, but I'm sure there'll be more to it than just that. But that's the information I've got at the moment. So Tonka Musk is coming. That's the one I'm looking forward to from Sven, because I loved SP Musk. So I'm really excited about that. Let's check my comments. Shavathon, Dan, I thought the title meant you were getting to be doing a nightly live news, sports and weather report. I can try it. I'm not the best. I don't know anything about sports. So, in football results today, Gillingham 3, Manchester United 1. How does it? That's not really got a ring to it, has it? Weather. It's a bit chilly, but I got too hot, so I turned the heating down. Not sure that'll cut it. News. I'm doing the news though. I'm doing the fragrant news. So yeah. Dan is, but no one knows. Oh, sorry. I didn't even. Was the group a secret, Dan? Sorry about that. Rich is just quacking, but that's kind of standard. So we've got a little bit more news for you, and we're nearly there, and then we'll get on to sniffing Peter's frags. Peter, Fragrance View, Centauri fragrances. So Atelier des Ors, I got in touch with them to find out if they've got anything going on, and they were, Megan is lovely, she does the marketing for them. I met her at Essence, actually met her before I went to Essence, just randomly in Harrods, where she was there doing some training, and she came over and chatted to me, and then sort of said come and see us at Essence. Anyway, she's lovely, and I said what's happening next year for Atelier. She said there is something happening, but she can't actually tell me anymore. I think I'm going to learn more when I see her in Essence again in the spring. Obviously anything I find out I will share with you, because Atelier des Ors is a really, really nice house. I really like them. And let's just check, I've got a comment here. Okay, Dan, you've forgiven me for letting everyone know about your secret group. Oh, Robes 08, Mark, yes. This is hilarious. I thought I met, was his name Ray Lewis? I didn't know, I wouldn't have known who he was. And then this guy said, not the real Ray Lewis, came into a chat on Instagram that Centauri Benjamin was doing. And Robes 08, Mark said, oh, wow. Ray Lewis, so I'm thinking, oh, this guy's actually famous or something. And I looked him up, and he's an NFL football player. So I was like, oh, wow, this is exciting. I just talked to a famous football person. But it wasn't, it's just someone who looks like him. But anyway, I'm quite pleased because I read something slightly unpleasant about this chap, so probably best not to go into that. Shaver Fawn, have you read the new 49th Amendment from IFRA? Get ready for, yeah, if Sarah Mccartney's still here, she shared a lot about these IFRA guidelines or IFRA amendments on her Facebook group. So again, if you're not in, even if 4160 Tuesdays isn't a brand you're necessarily interested in, Sarah shares a lot of really interesting information. It's not necessarily brand related. This isn't a page that's just about her selling her brand. This is a resource, and it's a really useful resource, and it's a very nice community as well. So yeah, in that group, Shaver Font, Sarah has shared some of this, and the fact that a lot of, or pretty much everything is going to have to be reformulated because of the knock-on effect of different things. So now they're taking into account the fact that not only do you spray the perfume on your skin, prior to spraying that perfume on your skin, you might have used a shower gel, a body lotion, a body scrub, a body spray. So you have to take into account any knock-on effects that you might have already had certain ingredients on your skin prior to that perfume. So pretty horrendous, I'd imagine, for particularly the indie perfumers to have to sort of negotiate their way around that one. Taffy, hi Taffy J, nice to see you too. Rich Mitch, thoughts on Iris Fauve? I really liked it. I haven't smelt it in a long time. It was my second favourite from the line though, so yeah, really like that one. Can't really talk, I honestly can't remember. Is usually, if a fragrance is just iris, very irisy, I don't enjoy it. I find it like lacks something, but Iris Fauve didn't feel like it was lacking, so I don't think it's not just full on iris. There's lots of iris, but there was definitely quite a lot going on to make it a bit more interesting, but that's about as good as I can give you at the moment from memory from kind of months ago, yeah, Dan Spanos, didn't know Aaron Terence Hughes has a YouTube channel. Yes, definitely check it out. It's really interesting, fun to watch. He reviews other people's fragrances, also talks about his own. Rich Mitch, favourite L'Occitane. I don't know them that well. I know Eau de Beau is really nice, but I've never really explored the brand that well. Anyone else want to chime in on their favourite L'Occitane? Neil's Aaron Terrence, he's doing some interesting videos on his channel. I'm missing stuff here. Jon Snow's just saying it's epic, but it's brutal, totally honest. If he reviews your favourite, it can be heartbreaking. Yeah. Sarah saying she ended up taking the thread down regarding IFRA regulations because there was a bit of a mega panic. Official release date is February. It's going to be tricky, but IFRA did a whole load of research and presented counter arguments. If we all stop talking to IFRA, they'll go away like at school. Oh, that's not very nice. Rich, Mr. Smelly's fault, I love Fougères. And JG loves Ombre from L'Occitane. Okay, let me just quickly go back to my notes then. And so I don't know if Mark from Robes 08 is still in. I'm just going to reiterate what I said in my other video regarding competition that Mark will be running. So this is calling all female reviewers, fragrance reviewers that have under 1,000 subscribers, or people that want to start their own channel. If you basically watch this space for the moment and keep up with either Mark or myself, we'll let you know the details of the competition. We've now got a team together, a panel, a really great panel of judges for the competition. So I'm really excited to work with the other guys and see what we can do to kind of push, let's get more female reviewers reviewing. Let's push female reviewers. Let's give them some love and some light because they don't always get it. But we're not going to dwell on that now. We're just going to say there's this really great competition with a really great panel of judges and me as well. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Let's just check. Okay, let's see what else have we got. I think we are getting there. We are. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Ah, yes. So, Zoologist. I've been in touch with Victor to find out what he's got in store for us in the new year, or come sort of 2020 in general. So I haven't got anything really specific. I'll give you what I've got. In spring, Victor will release a totally new design of bat. You might have seen a picture of a sample that he posted on Facebook. So he's not calling it a reformulation, he's calling it a new design. So I think it's just going to be completely different, probably like when he redesigned Panda. It was Panda, wasn't it? I didn't like the original Panda. I like the new version a lot better. Another scent with an oak moss theme. So bat will have an oak moss theme. Oh, hang on. No. And another scent with an oak moss theme. So bat's going to be a complete redesign, but there's going to be another scent with an oak moss theme. Both designed by Prin Lomos. You may know Prin from Stranger's Perfume, and he was also Prin Parfum. He's a Thai perfumer. In summer, there will be a eucalyptus themed scent by Spiros Drossopoulos. That's the perfumer, and he's the perfumer behind the House of Baruti. So there's going to be a eucalyptus themed scent. What do we think that will be? Eucalyptus? Is it koalas that eat eucalyptus? It's got to be an Australian animal, isn't it? A kangaroo? Let me know what you think the eucalyptus scent will be. Okay, so we have some political talk going on. Yeah, this is not news. I'm no newsreader, I'm afraid. I think I've already proven that. Yeah, so JG saying koala. Peter saying sloth. Okay, yeah, that would be more, that feels more zoologist sloth, because it's not as quite as mega cute as a koala. Koala's kind of super friendly cute. So maybe sloth. I need to wield a wrench in the comments. I don't actually know what that is. I've seen this done. What do I have to do, Rich? Do I click on do I click on it and then yeah, okay. Let's see if I can sort the situation out. Oh, I can't. Okay, do you want to be a moderator, Rich? I've done it anyway. I hope you don't mind. Okay, Rich is now the moderator. Watch out, people. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Behold Rich's tool, everybody. Now he has the power. Okay, right. So that is all of my news from Perfume. I just wanted to highlight a couple of YouTube channels I think are really worth watching. So today I was actually talking to, or recently I've been talking to Gunmetal, and Gunmetal told me about a Maria Meliora. Gunmetal, if you don't mind typing that so people know how to spell it. Maria Meliora is a really nice YouTube channel. This is a lady who clearly loves perfume. She's really articulate and fun to watch, very knowledgeable, and absolutely deserves some love. So if anyone wants to go and check out Maria Meliora's channel, then I highly recommend that you do, as does Gunmetal. Oh, hello, sweetie. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to Raj, the sentient man. He's back to reviewing. Many of you may know him from years gone by, but he's come back to reviewing. He's very honest and gentle and just talks about the fragrances that he's interested in. He's got no agendas. He's just a frag head. So I really like Raj. So if you want to check out Raj, he is called The Sentient Man, spelled sentient, S-C-E-N-T-I-E-N-T, as in the word scent, smell, and it's The Sentient Man. Shout out to those channels because they're pretty cool and they might not be something that you've seen before or on your radar. So that's that. Thank you, Gunmetal, for spelling out Maria Meliora. And Rich, thank you for spelling out Sentient Man. That is cool. So I think ready now to smell Peter's fragrances. Oh, Frag Hag. Oh, check out Frag Hag channel as well, and check her out on Instagram. Popping in from work. Will watch when I end my shift. Love your glass. Drinking with style. Thank you. I'll speak to you later. Cheers. If we're allowed to say, of course you're allowed to say. I'd recommend Fab Trends Mia. Incredibly happy, enthusiastic reviews. You defo finish smiling. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, everyone. I might have seen her. I can't always remember all the channels I do actually watch, but that rings a bell. So I think I might have seen her, but everyone else, do go check her out. Out of nowhere, Rich is saying Body Kuros is glorious. Haven't we already had this discussion? Where's this come from, Rich? Just because you've got your tool in your hand, you have to start talking about Body Kuros. Right then, so I think it's time to talk about Centauri. So I bought these samples when Peter announced the release of his fragrances. If anyone's not sure what I'm talking about, Peter from the channel Fragrance View, so the YouTube channel Fragrance View, Peter Carter, He's been reviewing fragrances for a long time there, and he has a very distinct taste in fragrance. He's very difficult to please, very discerning, and he's launched his own brand entirely himself with his own life savings, and everything he's done from the bottom to the top has come from him. So massively excited I was to try Centauri. So there's 2 perfumes at the moment. There will be more. Currently 2 available, and the samples are sprayers. It's £10 for 2 samples. I think he's out of them at the moment, so you have to wait till February till he restocks. But they're decent sized sprayers there. They're the same size, I think, that 4160 Tuesdays use, so there's plenty to really test the, and especially because, well, we'll get to how potent they are, but yeah, there's loads there actually to test. Rich Mitch, got to back a man who backs himself. Exactly. Presidian, I'm betting there is oud in all his colognes. Rich Mitch is buying Dendera. He has faith. So you're blind buying, are you, Rich? Jasmine, so glad you got samples. Oh, I'm trying to keep up, and then it kind of like skips down, so I'm trying to keep up. I missed out, so Jasmine didn't quite get samples before it sold out. Taffy J, her samples are on the way. Peter Corcoran thinks he wants to go in blind with Peter. Night Glory BG, Claire, I absolutely admire you for not having moderators. You have more balls than... I didn't even think to have a moderator. I mean, I've never needed one until now. Sarah, and hours asking me, shed loads of questions about shipping and generally driving me bonkers. Oh, Peter has been, has he? Oh, you're very kind to share your knowledge with him. Thank God they aren't dabbers. I'm blind buying, says Rich. Yeah, I think everyone hates dabbers. Dabbers, they are a lot more cheaper. They are cheaper, so much cheaper for people to get hold of. But I think that most people just don't like dabbers, and it's probably worth charging more for a sprayer, because that's how you then experience the perfume, closer to how it would come from the bottle, I think. Gunmetal's asking if anyone's sampled Navitus, and I certainly haven't. I'm seeing a couple of threads on Fragrance Guru Nation. I say as a couple, there's one particular lady who's been a bit, how can we put it, derogatory, I guess. I'm not saying that she thinks that they're poo, but just saying that she thinks that they are all too similar to other things that she smelled. So she bought a sample set and sold it very, very quickly, and sort of started a thread on Fragrance Guru Nation that obviously became a bit of a mudslinging, as per when you have all these different opinions. Rich Mitch, Les Santeurs use dabbers, shocking at our prices. They do give away a lot of samples. If you go into Les Santeurs, they are very generous in actually giving you samples. So if someone's giving you a free sample, you can't argue with that. But if you're actually paying for the sample and you get a dabber, that is a bit poo. Gunmetal saw those threads too, yeah. Rich, maybe if they didn't waste all their money on rent in Belgravia. Okay. Jasmine, need to do that course. I hope to meet you soon, Sarah. Are you talking about the, Jasmine, are you going to do a workshop, do you think? Or are you going to do the Scentfusiasm online Patreon thing? So I think we're going to go with, no, let's do the other one first. So I have them on my skin from hours and hours ago, these Centauri ones, but I'm going to do a fresh spray of Gaia. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, on my nice custom made piece of torn up note paper. I'm just going to do one spray because these are really potent. And so Gaia is here, and I sprayed it. When did I spray it? Lunchtime, probably about the 1 p.m. mark. Could be wrong, but there and thereabouts. And of course, we are now at 9:45. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we are talking, wow, 9 hours? Yeah, I suppose. Maths wasn't my strong point. Don't even want to know what my job is. I don't know how I get away with it. So 9 hours, and it is still present. So, and the longevity is absolutely there. It's completely there. So that's the dry down, and it is definitely still happening. But this is the opening. The opening to me is really chalky, mineral, chalky with a sweetness. Let me get the notes out for you. Yeah. So with the samples, you get these little cards. They have a picture of the bottle, and they have the notes and some information about the inspiration as well. So Gaia has notes of green leaves, dry earth, honey, tuberose, rose, lavender, orris butter, apple, cedarwood, wormwood, patchouli, ambergris. And then I'll read you if I can, because the writing's really, really, really small. I don't think you can actually see. The writing's tiny, but I'll do my best to read this information for you. Gaia, aka Gaia, the goddess Mother Earth, this beautiful home we walk upon, filled with life and wonder, from the leaves of the tree to the soil on the ground, the blooming flowers, fruit and honey from the bees. We are connected and created out of the same earth, a network of unity, balance, harmony and diversity in the nature of the earth. So that's really nice. There's a really nice sentiment behind it. Yeah, you can't really see the bottle, I'm afraid. The bottles look stunning. Benjamin's excited to hear more about Peter's fragrances. Rich Mitch, Peter loves orris butter, puts it on his toast. Oh, funny. That's an expensive slice of toast. Steve Simmons, have to say the bottles are on point. The cap is very heavy, bottle feels substantial. So you're very impressed with the presentation then, Stephen. Poseidon, don't forget to give Smurfy Girl a thumbs up. Oh, thanks. I'll give you all one back. Here you go. Jasmine, yeah, I was impressed with the branding, all on theme, and a nice presentation. The attention to detail that Peter's put into this is crazy, and to have done all that by himself, absolutely amazing. So let's smell it. Now, it says it's got tuberose in here. That's the note I pick out because I don't usually like tuberose, or I don't enjoy tuberose that much, but I don't actually really get a tuberose feeling from this. So if that's a note that scares you off, don't be scared off by it. But at the same time, if you think it's going to be tuberose centric and you love tuberose, then you might be slightly disappointed because it's not a massive tuberose bomb at all. It's a million miles away from fracas. It definitely has the earthy notes, and it says dry earth, and it absolutely is. It's not soil. It's not that that wet soil smell. It's definitely a dry earth kind of petrichor-ish, or even it could be rain on a hot pavement. That kind of chalky feel. Do I smell lavender? Maybe I smell a floral accord here. I don't really pick out individual notes of any particular flower. I'm just conscious there's something floral here, but it's not heady, and it's not like a bouquet of fresh flowers. It feels more like an abstract accord. So cedarwood, wormwood. Wormwood is that it's also called, I forgot what it's called. It'll come to me. Wormwood can sometimes smell slightly aniseed like, and it's in Le Male, if that helps. I can kind of sense that being in here. Something sort of aniseedy lifting it up. I don't get any heavy patchouli. I think the patchouli just brings the woodsy earthiness all together. And Presiding, does it remind you of any other colognes? Not really, no. The closest I could get, and it's nowhere near, is maybe Tom Ford Noir Anthracite. Yeah, it just feels like, it's a bit like smelling concrete dust, which actually I really love, but it's much more complex. But that feels like the main thing at the moment is like a concrete dust accord in a really good way, concrete chalk with just this hint of abstract floral. At the moment, I don't get anything animalic from it. Now, when I was talking to Peter earlier, he confirmed that this is the one that doesn't have real ambergris. This has this synthetic ambergris. But when I was talking to him and it was on my wrist, that side of it's now gone. But I said to him, oh, you can really tell the ambergris in this one because I get a little bit of funk from it. And he said, actually, no, there's no real ambergris, but I got a bit of funk. Now, not like an oody thing, almost a bit fecal, but not like smelling a big lump of poo, just almost like, and it was only if I went right like this, I could just detect something that was a bit like, and in the air, if I just did that, I thought, no, it's really nice like that. But if I went right up like that, I could smell something a little bit funky. So he said this one's got quite a lot of orris butter. It's really nice. Is it powdery? I wouldn't say it's powdery. It's more dusty, but really fine milled dust, like flour, as finely milled as flour. It's got that, but yeah, it's not exactly powdery. DC Jim are so surprised to hear that. I agree, it was a little funky. Bella Sativa, hi Claire, loving this chat. Best honey I've ever smelled. Can't pick out the flowers either. Yeah, the honey is, again, it's not like a full-on honey. It's more like honey is over there and you just catch a whiff of it. Very translucent. Everything's very translucent here, which I like. And it does smell quite clean in the opening. Sarah's just saying ambergris doesn't smell funky. It's amazingly clean. It must be something different. Yeah, he said, I think he said it was to do with the florals. I think it was the tuberose. The tuberose is a little bit funky, if I recall. If I recall our conversation, which was hours ago now. And I'm not the best at retaining information. But I don't really notice the apple. It's just, I think you just have to you can't look at these notes and think you're going to know what this smells like. To me, this is a very abstract fragrance. For me to understand how it smells, I would say it's mineral, it's chalky, it's dry earthy with a sort of abstract floral and honey on the breeze. It's green leaves listed. I don't really feel anything too green at the moment. It's really nice, and I think I was expecting from Peter something that would be harder to wear, harder to understand, but I don't think anyone wearing this is going to get any funny looks. You're actually going to smell pretty pleasant. Now this is a far dry down, so we're talking 9 hours in, and it's still present. And it's got richer. Now, I think that's the patchouli coming through more now. And it smells almost more like it's got moist. So it's no longer this flower-like texture. And I don't feel any of that abstract floral anymore. Almost, it's like your skin, you know how people say your skin but better? This is your skin, but you're almost coming up to needing a shower, but you're not quite dirty, but you're not fresh and clean anymore. But your natural odour is quite pleasant and palatable. And it's almost a tiny bit chocolatey, so that's why I think it might be patchouli that I'm smelling. I could be wrong, but yeah, your skin but better, but you almost need a shower. That's the far dry down for me. Tina, hi Tina from the Critical Virgo. She's got a great YouTube channel, so if you're interested, go check her out. Her Fragrant Fridays are really fun. Tina, we are talking about Peter Carter from Fragrance Views fragrances. This one is called Gaia. You can't really see the bottle because of my lighting situation, but this one, I'll just quickly repeat the notes. Green leaves, dry earth, honey, tuberose, rose, lavender, orris butter, apple, cedarwood, wormwood, patchouli and ambergris. So this is a Fragrance Views brand that he's just recently launched. It arrived today. Got 9 hours dry down on my wrist, and I've just resprayed it over here. And I really like that actually. I like it more now. I've retried it than I initially even did earlier. So I think these are fragrances that need time to really get to know. Yeah. So that's that one. I can't think of anything more to say about that one. So I'm going to take a sip. Take a sip from the Devil's Cup. And then we'll spray the other one, Dendera. I'll spray it on there. So this one's called Dendera. One little spray. These are potent. Both of these are really potent. The Dendera is more louder, and the Gaia one has more of a subtlety. The reason Dendera is so loud will be based on these notes. So the notes for Dendera, we've got nutmeg, cinnamon, orris butter, rose absolute, incense resins, Indian sandalwood, Vietnamese oud, Haitian vetiver, Madagascar vanilla and white ambergris. So they are the notes. I'll try and see if you can see the bottle. Yeah, that's how the bottle would look. And I'll read to you the little tiny writing here. So we've got, inspired by the beauty and mystery of ancient Egypt, Dendera Temple is built upon an even older temple buried beneath its foundations. The famous Dendera light bulbs featured on the walls of a sacred room, the richness of culture captured in the richness of their perfume in the land of Pharaoh and gods. So that sounds really nice, really interesting. I like that it's inspired in this way. And to me, this really does smell like, I have been to Egypt, but I just went to obviously a tourist resort. It smells like how I would imagine a tomb would smell, or the pyramids, the temples. So let's start. So the closest thing I can actually say, there's a couple of things that this is in the same ballpark as, if anyone has smelt Anubis by Papillon Perfumery, which incidentally is inspired by Egypt as well. So I think they might have used some similar notes or ingredients, because this does make me think of Anubis only in the opening, not when it starts to change. But it has this, it's quite smoky. It's the spices are quite in your face. So the cinnamon and nutmeg make it very, very warm, very warm, very warm, very spicy. Almost a bit leathery without actually going full on leather, but like a hint of leather in the distance again. like someone's wafting a bit of leather from far away. And of course there's no leather listed, that's just how I perceive it. It's dry, it's very, very dry. Almost like the spices have been baked. Not so they're burnt, but they're just baked to the point that they're super dry and smoking. So you've got the smoke coming off these baked spices. Now I said to Peter, is there any other florals in here? So we have the rose, and he said, well, I was just the rose and the orris. And I said, well, I feel like there's something like jasmine, like. He said, no, there's not. So there you go. It smells like jasmine scented incense sticks. It's got that, so you've got the smoke, and there's just, everything's very dry. You've got the dry spices, but it feels to me like this jasmine scented incense smoking around it as well. I said to Peter, it smells like a magic potion. I just seen that Jon Snow said it sounds magic. It really is like a magic potion, something that you would anoint yourself with rather than spray it on as a perfume, like it would be part of a ritual. It's Mr. Smelly, hi Dan. Hi Dan. So Dan's saying Peter's fragrances sound very complex, as we'd expect. Can't wait to try them. Yeah, I'd love to see what you think, Dan. They're probably not your taste, but you might like the Gaia one, which I've just already sniffed now, but we'll see what you think. But this one, yes, smoky, dry, kind of like baked earth. I'm thinking terracotta, like baked earth. The colours, someone's just said red is definitely the right colour. Keith Montgomery, red is the right colour. Yeah, I'm feeling terracotta. Hot, things are hot, things are dry. Maybe incense in a desert as well. It's definitely like a magic, it is a magic potion. Really, really interesting. So Chris from Fragmental says the orris butter is quite dominant for me. I'm not sure I get it at this point when I've just sprayed it, but I do have a 9-hour dry down over here. It's sweet, it's got sweetness to it, like a sweet woodsiness, sweet woods, like I don't know if cedar was a note, but like a cedar wood. We've got Indian sandalwood. Peter said when you get to the far dry down, that's when you start to notice the vanilla. So I'll see if I'm noticing the vanilla yet over here. But I really like it. It's not my usual style of fragrance, but I really like it. I'm on like kind of considering buying a bottle. Niels, sorry for asking again, do you think Dendera is anything like Lair de Desert Marocaine? It's not as balmy, and I don't mean like crazy. I mean it's not got that balmy feel. It's ballpark. I said so when I was wearing it earlier and I got to the mid notes, and I said to Peter, it does feel like an Andy Tower perfume, and he said he has had that comparison from other people. And I actually get in the dry down, the vetiver starts to come out, but it's like a grassy vetiver, and it's like the vetiver I get from Le Maroc Port El, so not Lair de Desert, but the one before that was Le Maroc Port El. And in the dry down you get this really lovely grassy vetiver, and I feel something very similar in the dry down of this, but it doesn't come out yet. It doesn't come out for quite a long time. It's probably gone as well over here, but let's find out. So 9 hours in over here. It's not so dry anymore. It's calmed down. It's got this sexy feeling, and maybe that's the ambergris. And I think he said this one's got the real ambergris in it, and it doesn't come out till near the end as well. So I think maybe I'm getting the ambergris here. I still get a little bit of smoke. I still get a bit of sweetness that feels a bit floral. I don't know if it's on my watch. I'm going to take my watch off because I don't know if my watch is confusing matters. Yeah, it's got this sexy thing, which I think is the ambergris, like that musky, salty-ish, but not an aquatic note or anything, just a slightly musky, warm skin. Warm skin. Actually getting a bit excited. Actually, it does actually feel quite sexy. It's a little bit woodsy. Still got a hint of the smoke. Still got a hint of the, I say floral because I'm not specifically picking out rose, and I know rose is in there, but I'm not going to pretend I smell it just because I know it's there. To me, again, it feels more of a blend. It's just an abstract feel of the floral, kind of like combining with everything else, and I really like it. I think I'm going to buy a bottle. But these are early impressions, and I'm not trying to influence anyone. I'm just being honest here. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the fact that they change on your skin. They last really well. I don't think they're massive projectors. I haven't worn them properly. I've only a tiny spray on each wrist, and the fact that that is still there, not just like skin, is, you know, it's kind of like coming off like that much. So, you know, actually I think I can still smell that vetiver that I was talking about, but it's not as potent. Really, really sexy. I'm impressed. I like them more than I expected to like them. Benjamin, winner chicken dinner. I thought that was a British thing. A jasmine, I thought I wouldn't like it, but it sounds really good now you're explaining it. I mean, it's down to taste. So as I said earlier, when I first spray it, it does remind me of Anubis by Papillon. Now when I first smelled Anubis, I couldn't get it. It was too dry, too smoky, too leathery. It wasn't my taste. But the more I tried it, and I kind of left it for a long time, then I decided to retry it, and then I realized that I actually really quite like it. So it's not necessarily my usual taste in fragrance. So that's what I'm trying to say, but I'm really, really impressed. Rich Mitch, take a sip of my D-squared potion, it will make you fall in love. Oh yeah, that's it. Make you fall in love. Is that the actual words? What was that? Was it I can't remember who that. Was it an Irish girl band? Mel Taylor, good evening. Glad I caught a bit of this. I was looking these up the other day. Dendera kicked off an hour-long debate with my son about aliens and pyramids. Well, I think your son needs to subscribe to Peter's other channel then, because he's all about all that, isn't he? Yeah, it feels peppery. So I've got obviously that's the fresh spray bit. It feels quite peppery, and I think that's coming from the spices. They're definitely hot and peppery. As I said earlier, almost like you've baked them, but not burnt them, just baked them. And then you've got incense sticks all around you, and some terracotta everywhere. I'm just getting visions of terracotta, and I'm not really sure why. Baked earth, I guess, is that feeling. Oh, thank you, Niels. Enjoying my breakdown of perfumes. Thank you. I just hope I'm doing it justice. It's all very, you know, that's how it smells to me. Is it how it will smell to you? I don't know. I don't know, but I have to say I'm massively impressed. I'm honestly really, really impressed with how they smell. The Dendera Dry Down is very sexy and quite different from the opening. But the development to get from here to here has been very gentle, and I think that's a sign of good perfumery, because sometimes things can be kind of like lumpy and chunky, and they can instantly change from one thing to another, like a roller coaster. And this is totally changed from there to there, but there's never been any choppy ups and downs. It's been very smooth. It's a really smooth journey. And this is really, really sexy. Now, actually, it reminds me a little bit, and I'm not saying it's the same, but ballpark, the dry down of Dior Homme Parfum, the far dry down. You know when it gets really, really sexy, when it gets kind of like musky, woodsy, salty. There's this, you have to wait for it. But when Dior Homme Parfum has been worn for several hours, it gets super sexy to my perception, and that is doing that. I really like it. I'm impressed. I think I noticed Peter's not come along. He's probably shitting himself. But he knows from our chat earlier that I definitely liked them. So Peter's got his hands full at the moment anyway with everyone's orders and stuff. Yeah, I'm almost thinking I might buy a bottle. I might split it because it's so potent that a bottle of that is going to last forever. So I might do a split in in the Facebook group so that I can like spread the cost and everyone gets a chance to try it, because you can't get samples at the moment because Peter's sold out. So maybe that'll be a good thing to do. So yeah, I might do that. Hi Soul52, hello. So I think I've kind of done everything now that was on the agenda. I have no clue how long this has been going on for. Let's have a look. It's just gone 10, so hour and 40 minutes or so. DC Gym Art, I think you're describing it very well, thank you. So I think, happy to chat if we want to carry on chatting, but if we are done, then I will wrap things up. Let me know what you want to do. Kind of happy to take a breather and let you lot talk amongst yourselves. So is Mr. Smelly still here? Danny, you still about? Rich Mitch says let's chat. Well, Rich Mitch, you've got your tool in your hand and it's basically up to you now. Presidian, any other female reviewers we should know about? Yeah, let's chat female reviewers. But I don't want to always go on about female reviewers, because I also don't want it to become, because I love everyone. I'm sometimes conscious of looking like a male basher, and I absolutely am not. I just don't like some things that I see, but for the most part, 95% of the time, 97% of the time, I think everything's great. It's all fine. It's just sometimes something needs doing, needs addressing. So Dan is still in the building. So Dan, as I said to you earlier, there's a set of samples for you, Peter samples we've got. He sent an extra set for you to try, so I'm sure everyone would like your take on it once we get together. I don't know how long you've been with us, Dan. I shared the fact that we'll go to Essence this year, so I hope you're still up for it. Let me know if you're still up for Essence, or however you say it. Anyone else going to Essence? Rich Mitch is eating a Ferrero Rocher. Wielding mine weapon. Yep. Niels is saying Dendera's sold out. Oh no, so I have to wait till February now. Oh yes, Poseidon. Yeah, Soki London is never talked about in the community. Well, she has a good following. I watch some of her videos. The only what I really like is that she does a lot of research, and she's very easy to watch, easy to listen to. But she sort of like does brand overviews or overviews of a particular line of fragrances. But quite often she doesn't have those fragrances. So I think for me, that side of it just feels a bit lacking. It's like, how do you know these fragrances so well? We don't seem to have them. I don't know, but she is lovely, and I think she does excellent research and she excellent presentation, and everyone should check her out and see what you think for yourself. Yeah, Mr. Smelly says it'd be fun to sniff those. Yeah, still up for Essence. Benjamin really want to. What to go to Essence, Benjamin? Do you think you might? You should try it. It's brilliant. It's a really good opportunity to mix and mingle, and I had a really lovely time, and I made really good connections, and yeah, it was so worth it. I mean, you've obviously got a lot further to go. It's for us, it's what, a couple of hours on the plane. Jon Snow, Clement CC fragrance. Yes, she is brilliant. If you don't know Clemence CC, she is French and she's beautiful. She has a lovely voice, a lovely accent, and very knowledgeable, and clearly really loves her fragrances. So definitely Clemence CC is brilliant. Who else? So my favourites, the ones I watch all the time, you probably will all know who they are. Yourselves, Delicious Delights, Amy Ever After, Casually Fragrant, Amy Loves Perfume, of course. Who else? So Tina from the Critical Virgo, who's in this chat. Tina, and anyone else. Share the come on, share the females, share the female reviewers. Who's your favourites? Poseidon, her accent is beautiful. Yeah, Clement CC, she is beautiful. Like, her accent is absolutely beautiful. You are correct. Rich Mitch should censor himself. Beauty Meow, yes, Beauty Meow. Kristen, she's great. Lola Sense, yes, I love Lola. I find Lola so relaxing to watch, and the fact that she's a nurse just makes sense. She's so soothing. Keith is saying, he's commenting about the red being the right colour, was just thinking that the colour of the bottle was a good match for the fragrance. Yeah, I think you're right, and then bearing in mind it's got rose in it. I actually picture the fragrance itself as like deeper red, so rather than that that bright red, I picture, like I kept saying, terracotta. I'm kind of like picturing a deeper, almost like bloody earthy red, if that makes sense. Yeah, Benjamin Tomalise, a nose, yes, she is brilliant. What I love about a nose is her knowledge and her experience and the obscurity of what she talks about. You can learn from her live streams are really, really good. You can learn something. Benjamin saying Eva Monroe, yes, fragrance kings and queens, as she says. Jon Snow, Agnes Eva too is wonderful. Agnes is fabulous. I love Agnes. She's been so busy lately. She's not had time to upload very much, but I think she will be coming back soon. She's just got a new job. Sarah Mays, yet Sarah is, she does a lot of more mainstream and celebrity scents, but she also does have some niche as well. So she's quite a good diverse range of fragrances that she talks about. Lots of lists and hauls with Sarah, which is great. I love all of that. Taffy was going to say Eva Monroe as well. Silver Butterfly 1000. I have not heard of her, so I will try and check that out. I'll have to come back to the live stream and just read through and sort of make notes. Swift Sense, another one I've not heard of, Benjamin. Steve is saying that the Dendera bottle is not as bright as the picture suggests. It is a little darker. That makes sense. That feels like it would fit. Poseidon, love to see a collab with Agnes and Clemence. Yeah, that would be great. Their voices are so calming. Yes, they are. Stefan, does Charles Gross count? Why not? I haven't watched anything from him for a long time. I feel like I don't know what he's like now, but he went a bit strange when I last watched him going back a year or two. I felt that he had some issues. His weight was very, very low, and he kind of mentioned sort of things about his weight. I think he was talking about fitting into corsets or something. I just felt a bit, I didn't want to follow him. I didn't want to encourage him because it felt a bit dangerous. Benjamin Jus de Rose is fantastic. Josephine is lovely. Okay, Jus de Rose, not sure, it rings a bell, not sure if I know that one. Jon Snow, Poseidon, are you saying Claire's Cockney accent isn't calming? I ain't Cockney, I ain't no Cockney. Okay, yeah. What I used to love about Charles Gross was, yeah, the way he described fragrances as a personality, and he would say, oh, I picture a rich gentleman who's wearing this particular outfit, and he does this and he does, and it kind of helps you feel what the fragrance might smell like, even if he doesn't describe it in terms of notes, etc. So the scented, yes, she got mentioned earlier, so we'll have to check that one out. Valivon, oh, lots of them coming out. So do check them out, everyone. Check out the these reviewers that are being mentioned. Rich Mitch, I've got a female friend in her 60s. She told me men's fragrances are better than women's in general over the last 50 years. Do you agree? If so, do you think that is still the case now? I don't know. I mean, recently, the last few years, I think men's designers have been, well, actually both men's and women's have been very lacking. All these extra sweet men's fragrances are annoying. There's the odd one, the odd good one. Female fragrances I'd say there's probably a few more female fragrances that are more interesting, but still, where they're all following the same trends, it just can get very generic, and yeah, I don't know. But go back 10 years and before, I think things were great, they were interesting, they were fun. But maybe it's because we're in this era and we're getting all the same things. But yeah, Rich Mitch, designer frags are on their arse at the moment in general. Benjamin saying Sarah Mays, yep, we've mentioned her, she's lovely. Keep on suggesting the females. I'll try and remember. Oh, I'll try and remember. Cheers. I'll try and remember some of the other females I like. So you got Delicious Delights. Who watches Delicious Delights? I love her channel. She's so honest and happy to tell you what she thinks is shit, which I like. Oh, there's a girl called Mila LeBlanc. So Mila LeBlanc, she lives in Switzerland. She's French speaking, I think. No, she got a French accent, and she's originally from Russia, and she's absolutely stunning to look at, and an absolute bitch in the best possible way. So check her out. It's not all fragrances. You see, if you're not interested in other stuff, don't look. Like, there's makeup, there's luxury handbags, all sorts of stuff, but there's a lot of fragrances. So I recommend watching for the entertainment value. She does not give a flying, you know, she really doesn't, and she's brutally honest about herself and life. And yeah, she's quite refreshing to watch, actually. I mean, I wouldn't want to be her friend. I think she'd kill me. She'd be quite hard work, I think, but I love watching her. Really love watching her. My World of Fragrance, yes. So Sam from My World of Fragrance, I've only recently discovered her. She was on my collaboration video that I did a while back, and she is the source of the information that Katie Puckwick is coming back to YouTube, because she bumped into Katie, I said this earlier, but for those of you who weren't around, bumped into Katie at yoga, and Katie said she's coming back to YouTube, so that's really cool. Angelo Massey, you were so sweet. Thank you. Gunmetal, can't spell it properly. Gucci Memoir June. Is that the fragrance, or Yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm not sure gunmetal, whether you're talking about the fragrance or what. I've maybe lost the plot a little bit. Oh, maybe you're saying what you're wearing. I'm not sure. Solely 52 just bought Penhaligon's Sartorial today. Awesome fougere. Yeah, it is really nice. I know Dan's got that one. Mr. Smelly's a big fan of that one. Poseidon, Katie Puckwick needs to come back. She gets the bad press. Who gets the bad press, Rich? Gunmetal's talking about the memoir, the green memoir d'odeur. Okay, the green one that has chamomile in it. That's kind of weird. Do you like that one, Gunmetal? Or I've lost the comments of what actually was said now. D'une odeur, yeah. Poseidon bought Secretions Magnifique because of Katie Puckwick's review. Have you worn it, Poseidon? What? How is that? How does that work? Have you actually worn it? Did you get any comments? How does it feel? Angelo Massi, what about Romance by Ralph Lauren? I can't remember what Romance smells like. When I worked on a cruise ship going back 10 years or more, all the girls were wearing it on the ship. Like all my colleagues were wearing Romance. It was like the #1 thing that they all loved. I remember at the time I didn't particularly think it was that special. I ended up buying a Gucci. It was the Rush, the one that's in the red plastic rectangle. You spray, like you press the lid. Gucci Rush or Gucci Rush 2. That was my fragrance that I wore on the ship. But everyone was wearing Ralph Lauren Romance. I just can't really remember what it smelled like now. I think I might have gone for a bottle because I was a bit of a sheep. I might have had a bottle of it, but yeah, I don't think I really loved it. Beauty by Ewa is another channel. I've not heard of that one. Rich Mitch Sartorial is Lush. And Helvetii too. Poseidon, regarding Secretions Magnifique, it's awful but fun to pull out when friends come over. Yeah. Do you warn them or do you just say, smell this? Centauri Adam Bolos and his girlfriend Kim Kelly are great. I don't know them either. Oh, so much. I will try and check them all out if I can. Critical Virgo, I used to wear Gucci Rush 2. Yeah, so that's the one I'm talking about, isn't it? With in the red plasticky rectangle. Solely 52 Helvetii is flipping expensive for what it is. Critical Virgo, I miss Gucci MV. Abram Bolos is great, says Gunmetal. Shaverfon, amazing that Puig owns Penhaligon's. DC Jim R, I'd like to see Aaron Terence Hughes review Secretions Magnifique. Yeah, because he wouldn't. Yeah, I think it would bring memories back for him, so it could be quite fun. Poseidon, same to Rich. Have you smelt Sheep Palatin? You know what I think about Sheep Palatin? I bloody love it. Really love Sheep Palatin. I'm going to pour a drink if you. So this looks like Smart Water, however, it's not. It's not. This is how I transport my vodka. This is my travel size vodka bottle. I always put them if I'm going away or if I'm taking my vodka anywhere, because you know, then I generally put it in a plastic water bottle. Jon Snow, we were all talking about old classics. Jupe Hom, I wouldn't be me not mentioning it. Please, nobody ever let Aaron Terence Hughes get his nose on it ever. I'm sure he's had his nose on that one more often than he wants to recall, because my God, how many people were wearing that back in the day? Cloying. I mean, I actually enjoyed it at the time. Kind of It was Joop, Fahrenheit Cool Water. They were the three I used to really enjoy. If anyone was wearing them around me, I'd quite enjoy it. But now I think Joop is something about it. If you smell it on someone out on a night out and they're sweating a little bit, it's like thick and sickly, and it's, oh, it's not good. Shave of Fun still got 10% of his Gucci Envy. Solely got Penhaligon's Cairo, that's amazing. An Amazing Rose. Mr. Smelly says Joop is dismal. Dismal. Poseidon, I love Sheep Repellent. Yeah, Dan actually got me some for Christmas, which was very kind of him. And I enjoy sartorial, but I wouldn't wear sartorial. I enjoy sartorial for a gentleman, I think. Or that's just my opinion. Jon Snow, Mr. Smelly, you break my little pink heart. Benjamin, Alora Dion talks about self-made perfume. Okay. Angelo, what about vintage fragrances? Do they keep original standards? What do you mean? If you buy a modern formulation of a vintage, it's always going to have changed, I would say. I think most people will agree, because their rules keep changing, so they have to reformulate them. But if you can buy a vintage perfume that's old and still smells really good if it's been kept well. It's kind of a luck of the draw, I think. No, Benjamin, we did mention Beauty Meow. So yeah, we've mentioned Beauty Meow. Let's think. There was a lovely girl called Hello Paris, but I don't think she's uploading anymore. She was really good. Rich Mitch got a load of vintage there, fine. Jon Snow, forgiven if you review it. John, do you want him to review Sheep Repellent or sartorial or both? It's about time I reviewed Sheep Repellent. I don't think I've done it, you know, which I really should. Now I've got a little bit more to kind of wear. I was a bit tight with it because I didn't have a lot. Now I've got a bit more. So yeah, if I've not reviewed it, which I don't think I have, then I shall, because I think it's a masterpiece. Oh, Joop Hom. Okay. Yeah, Dan, wear Joop Hom for a day and review it. Or you could do a video where you wear it down the pub. So I wore Joop Hom to the pub and this is what happened. That could be fun. Poseidon bought Molecule 1 because of me. Oh, okay. Do you like it? Had you tried it? What do you think? I think it's a workhorse fragrance in that you can wear it anywhere, anytime. Performance is amazing. Certainly is on me anyway. It's the most complimented fragrance I've ever had, still is. And yeah, unsolicited compliments from people selling me shoes. Colleagues like it so much that they go and buy a bottle. It's, yeah, but for some reason I don't reach for it very much, if at all. Perfect summer scent because it just lasts. The sun can't kill it, nothing kills it. Yeah, Poseidon, you're saying the same thing. It's awesome in the summer. It's amazing in the summer. It doesn't get cloying, but it projects and it lasts and people notice it. It's brilliant. I wore it on a hot day and I'd walked for an hour in the sun. I was actually with Dan at that point. Walked down to get my car from the train station. I don't know if you remember this, Dan. I got called into work, so I was on standby. It was a beautiful hot summer's day and we had to go get my car, so walked down to the train station, which was about a 45-minute walk. Sun was belting down and then we split up. I think I went into a shop. I don't know why I had to buy shoes quickly, or I'm not sure what happened, but I got a compliment from the lady that sold me shoes in the shop. A bit random. But yeah, and then I ended up at work. One of my colleagues came to find me to find out what I was wearing in the meeting prior. She said, someone in here smells amazing. And I didn't own up to it at that point, but she came and spoke to me, and then she was like, oh, it's you. She had to buy a bottle. Jasmine, like Yana and Claire, myself as my faves. Oh, that's nice. Miss Smelly, you remember that day? Yeah. Oh, that was a couple of years ago, I think. Yeah. Rich, anyone smelled Cologne Royale by Dior? Cologne Royale. No, I don't think I have. Anyone else? DC Jim R loves Cologne Royale. Gunmetal loves Dahlia and Ashley, that are guests on Sebastian's channel. Yes, I love Sebastian, and I love all his guests. Ashley is the perfumer. She's in training, so she's brilliant because she's got that knowledge. And Dahlia, and then there's is it Olia? Who's the lady who works in, oh, what's the shop that's got really great perfumery in New York? Is that, she might be that I think she comes on with Carlos. She sometimes comes on with Carlos. Oli Bar? I don't know what Oli Bar. Also, it's Olia. Olia from Oswald. Yeah. So Oswald is a shop, and she's called Olia. That's why I'm kind of getting mixed up, but she's great. She's fantastic. Solely 52. Mary on Gen Sense. Honestly, I think she could turn me the other way, because yeah, she's lovely, beautiful, with a smile on that girl. Yeah, I love that video from the other day. Everyone's like, Olia, Oswald. And Olia's got a channel, Scent Menu. Oh, I didn't realise. I will check it out because I really like her. She's cool. So yeah, Dahlia. These names are quite similar, aren't they? Olia, Dahlia. Can get mixed up. So my cat is just on the chair over here, and she's doing that thing. And if you listen, if you keep it quiet, you can hear her purring. I'm not sure if you can pick that up, but yeah, she's purring away in her own little world, doing all that. So cute, so cute. Yeah, Angela, it is a big glass, isn't it? Big glass for a big girl. Kristen Capolino fragrances. Okay, I haven't seen that one either. Mr. Smelly, did Jeremy delete your comment? It never made the light of day, that comment. So he either had me silenced. Oh, that sounds like conspiracy theories. Yeah, I don't think the comment was ever available for anyone to see on his channel. So yeah, I think he hates me. I don't hate him, I just needed to say something, that's all. I'm getting a bit polarising these days, and I'm loving it. Suchi, I love you, greetings from Poland. Hello. Yeah, I'm either blocked or filtered. You're right, Benjamin. Taffy's saying it had too many words, so there might have been a filter on there being too a long message, maybe. Gunmetal is saying that these sales assistants from Lucky Scent do good short videos describing why they like certain scents, but it might be tricky as they do work for Lucky Scent, so they can't say anything bad. Okay, yeah, but they're still it's always worth checking out, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like just finding out about the notes and maybe how they play, and then you make your own mind up, don't you, whether you want to sample it. Poseidon, Jeremy's video at the beach was shameful. I didn't see that one. I generally don't watch his videos unless I feel like there's something I should know about. But yeah, not in a normal way that most people watch his videos. So yeah, I saw a photo of him in like faded boxers, white skimpy boxer shorts. I can't unsee that now. Mike Lycan, hello. DJ Jim R, love Steve's videos on Lucky Scent. Okay, I'm totally going to check out Lucky Scent's channel then. Angelo, did you smell Coffret Découverte cologne? I'm not sure so which one that is. I've smelled quite a few from that house, but I don't know if I smelled that particular one. Dan might be more familiar with them because I know Dan had a couple from that house, of the fresh ones. Dan, yes, you are getting controversial. Yeah, yeah, it's been fun. I might wind my neck in a bit, but yeah. Jon Snow, I'm not praising or dissing Jezza. I did watch a review he did of some Parfum de Marly fragrances with a mature lady when he actually had a, hang on, I'm losing it, had a real conversation and listened to her responses, so he is capable. Okay, yeah, I mean, maybe he's got more respect for older people, older ladies, I don't know. Yeah, so Taffy J says she was joking, but I'm not sure. It had too many words. I see. You were joking that it had too many words. I've apparently long messages on long comments can be filtered. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I was told. Dan, you might know that. Yeah, Jeremy prefers fire icons. Solely, Jeremy went loopy for a while. It's getting better recently. Gunmetal, Stephen Lucky said it's great. Keith Montgomery, the other lady who does videos with Sebastian, is very knowledgeable. It's Dana Sandu, aka Nose. She also has her own YouTube channel. Yes, definitely. I love Dana. Really knowledgeable. I'm not sure where she gets her knowledge from. It feels like it's not just a hobby. I think she has industry knowledge and chemistry knowledge. No, Niels, Jeremy's army boys are mansplaining Claire these days. Actually, that's a term I don't understand. So I always thought it was to do with a man shaving like his armpits or his lower regions. So Niels, let me know what mansplaining means. Yes, Eva, Agnes Eva, Rhonda Lares is another YouTube reviewer. I don't know her, but we'll have to try and check some of these out. Rich, I don't know where this is going, but I think we need to rein you in a little bit. Shaverphone, Sebastian must have his 15,000 bottle collection insured by Lloyd's of London. But do you know what I love about Sebastian is he is buying his own stuff. I know he obviously gets sent a lot of free stuff, but it doesn't stop him going out and he spends a fortune and buys his own stuff because he's passionate and he loves the hobby. And I met him in real life at Essence and he radiates calm and kindness, really. I really like him. We're also kind of twinsies because our birthdays are one day apart. So maybe that's why I feel like, yeah, I feel like he's just lovely. He just radiates good stuff, our Sebastian. Oh. Okay. Mr. Smelly is wearing what? What are you wearing? Have you had a drink, Mr. Smelly? Chanel Chance Eau Vive. Okay. So, Mr. Smelly is not afraid to wear a female marketed fragrance. Just so you all know. I knew that anyway, but yeah, I know you liked there was a couple of flankers from Chanel Chance that you used to like. I think you bought your sister some as well, if I recall, Dan. Is anyone drinking? I'm only on my number 2 drink-ish, kind of like two and a bit, so still fairly sober. Shave on Sebastian is a youngster compared to me, however he needs a Gizenta shave. There's something else I don't know what that is. Mansplaining is a pejorative term meaning of a man to comment on or explain something to a woman in a condescending, overconfident and often inaccurate or oversimplified manner. Yes, that's what's happening. Yeah, that has happened. There's only been 2 videos I commented on. Obviously the one I put on Jeremy's channel didn't see the light of day, and then I commented on Jensen's channel when he he chose not to talk about the female fragrances that were mentioned in the Fragrantica sort of fragrances of the year, and I was a little bit triggered, and I just put a comment on there, and then yeah, everyone's kind of twisting what I'm saying. They're not getting my humour, calling me entitled. Yeah, didn't really like that. So then I thought, that's when I thought, no, that's it now. I'm not doing this because I'm not going to get anywhere. So yeah, I'm just, as I said in my last video, concentrating on the positive stuff. When I see good stuff, I'm concentrating on it, and I'll put a nice comment, or I'll shout out people, and just make it, spread some love in my own little way, and hopefully people will see that and people will think, oh, that's a nice thing to do, I might do the same myself. And if we all kind of spread the love, spread the positivity, it might actually smooth out some of the less pleasant stuff that goes on. So Dan is saying, did you mention Jeremy's email to me where he mentioned you, Claire? No, I didn't, because I didn't know if you wanted me to. If you want to share that, how he referred to me, go ahead. It wasn't that derogatory. It was just more a bit dismissive. But I suppose maybe that's part of the reason why I felt the need to. That was a little tipping point, I guess, for then me feeling the need to comment on that video and kind of call it out a little bit. Taffy J, I love your humour, Claire. Thank you. Poseidon, not a fan of Eugene. He is polarising, I guess. I enjoy Eugene. I know he said some things that aren't nice, but I think I find that he's very entertaining. He knows his stuff, and kind of like watching him and Christo get pissed together and belch and stuff. But that's my level of humour, so yeah. But I get that. No, it's not going to be everyone's taste, and I think he goes out to be, he sets out to be kind of like the bad boy of Fragcon, which that's fine. Someone's got to play that role, so yeah. I've got an idea. What could be fun is, let's talk about what we think the next fragrances from Jeremy might be. So obviously we have Date, we have Office, I think we have Club coming. The one I mentioned earlier, Basement Wank, that was obviously a joke. Sorry about that. That was a bit derogatory. But let's think about what might come from the line, because yeah, I mean, there's so many occasions. I was thinking if he decided to release female fragrances, what they might be, and I was thinking there's probably only ever going to be 2, and that's going to be Kitchen and Bed, and I reckon that'll probably be the whole female line. Silver Wheel, Gym. Yeah, I think Gym is a definite possibility. Yeah, this is, so what Dan is saying here is, this is an email that Jeremy sent to him. I send you and your woman in the videos, my Office and Date. So I am your woman in the videos. So yeah, I don't know. Nothing too bad, just kind of shows shows a little side of him, really. Poseidon hump for men. Jon Snow tool for men. that's one that's custom made for rich. Benjamin work for men and women. Shaver-Fon aphrodisiac for men and nymphomaniac for women. Taffy J protection. Oh no, Dan, you didn't correct him, did you? Centauri dance for men and women. Yep. What else could there be? So for men, maybe you'd like jet skiing for men, yacht for men, Ferrari time for men, and that one could be with George from the Fragrance Apprentice in mind, perhaps. Solely Jeremy fragrance, I'm done, get out for men. Grocery, restaurant for men. Oh, this is brilliant. Shrek, that's hilarious. I'm not saying that out loud. I'll get a solicitor's letter. Mr. Smelly school run for women, yes. Benjamin fishing for men, yes. You can have like lumberjack for men, like you can have sort of different trades. Carpenter, because I mean, it's done office, so we can have lorry cab for men, or bin men. Tinder for men. Angelo, do I have a schedule for live shows? I don't follow a schedule because I work shift work and I work very random. So I'm not off all weekends or any particular days. So there is no schedule, but I do share when I'm going to be on Instagram. So if you look for Smurfy Girly on Instagram, if you follow me, I always do let people know in advance that I'm going to be doing a live, and also I do it on my Facebook where I am just Claire Sprigmore, but I might not add you if I don't know who you are. So I generally add people if I've got a lot of mutual friends, but I find a lot of people I can add them, particularly people from very far away countries can then start waving at me and messaging me randomly. So so I'm not adding everyone on Facebook, but on Instagram, Smurfy Girly, I'll always update when I'm going to be doing a live. You'll get a day or more notice, and then I'll try and do like a half an hour notice as well. And if you subscribe to my channel, you would also, I post on my, I'll do a post to let you know as well. So can't do schedules, unfortunately. Solely 52 pub bog for men. Mr. Smelly, first office flanker call centre for men. Centaur drunk for men and women. Not a drinker though, is he, Jezza? I don't think. I'm pretty sure he says he doesn't really drink. Restraining order for women. Projects a 5-mile radius. So Merino Teflon, I don't think we've heard from you until now, and you come in with that. So yeah, that's a strong opening. Solely 52 pension for men. Care home for men. How about that? Care home for men. Hospice for men, or is that too far? Is that a step too far? And of course then we get to the funeral, which we've all kind of banded around. Funeral for men. Shaver-Fon. His website uses fragrance.org, the site of the Fragrance Foundation. Really? That's interesting. What do you think he's affiliated with the Fragrance Foundation in some way? Rich Mitch Women for Men. Blow up doll for men. A smell of plastic and hot air. sports for men and women. Yeah, maybe. I'm sticking to the fact that there's only going to be 2 for women. Kitchen and bed. They're the only women's fragrances I'm expecting. Maybe men for men. Solely trans for men. It's possible the Fragrance Foundation is affiliated. Why is there no Jeremy logo on any of his boxes or bottles? I don't really know. So yeah, conspiracies. Child support for men. Everyone's cards are getting marked. We're all in big trouble now. I think could diversify. Rodeo for men. I mean, I think the men's ones have to be very masculine, so they need to be typical things that real men do. So yeah, what do real men do? Yeah, drive big trucks, chop down trees, construction for men. Yeah. I'm sure Jeremy doesn't give a fuck what we all think. I'm starting to feel a bit bad now. Maybe we should change the subject. I don't want to be yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. Someone change the subject quick, otherwise I'm closing this down. Yeah, I'm thinking actually I might do a response video to his top 10 male fragrance reviewer video. I might do a response video and just give another shout out to, I might make it 50-50 because I don't want to, as I said earlier, I don't want to always go push women. I'm just trying to address the balance, but I understand that then it can get too much. So I might do a top 10 fragrance reviewers and make it sort of 5 men, 5 women. So what would I name my fragrance, Taffy? Well, I have a name in mind, so I don't know if you're aware, I am actually making or having a fragrance made for me that will be released next year. Not entirely sure when, but we are working on it. I'm working with an indie perfumer. I have a name in mind. I'm going to run it by her, so I can't tell you. But if I go off that and forget about what I'm doing with that, and if I was to name a fragrance, it would almost, it'd actually be quite difficult, I think. I don't think I'd go French because it wouldn't make sense for me. So it depends what, it would depend what the fragrance would be, but it would probably be, it would almost certainly be a gourmand. So it could be something like cheesecake on my chops. Not really, but yeah, it might be some kind of like food, delicious food, alliteration of some description. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm missing some comments, so let me just scroll back. Dan saying we don't hate Jeremy. DC Jim R saying yes. Mr. Smelly was buying a new phone today. Shave-a-thon, the new fragrance when you're still at a club at 3 AM, desperation for men. Yeah. Solely 52 loves Jeremy. I'm sure he loves you back. Jon Snow, point out the irony that most of his favourite fragrances were perfumed by ladies. Okay. The bloke said, why do you want this phone? So Dan's talking about buying his new phone. Why do you want this phone? I said it's got a good camera and do YouTube videos. So he asked what about? I said fragrance reviews, and he said, oh, who's that other guy that does that? I knew what was coming. He says the guy who spins around. This is the thing. It's because when you look up fragrances, because he's the biggest one, most everyday people are going to find Jeremy reviews on the fragrance they're looking for if it's a mainstream fragrance. So I see sometimes in threads on non-related, non-perfume groups on Facebook that I'm in, and someone might say, oh, can someone recommend a nice perfume that's going to last or whatever, and someone will say, oh, you should watch Jeremy Fragrance on YouTube, and I'm always like, I don't know, and oh god, I'm not hating on him, but I just think when it comes to female fragrances, unless the reviewer has worn that fragrance or is used to smelling it often on his partner or someone in his life, then I'm not going to get too much from that review, because I feel like when Jeremy says he loves Juicy Couture, it's because he sprayed it once on a bit of paper and he quite likes the opening notes. And yeah. Yeah, Dan, did you do the spin? I can answer for you. He definitely would not have done a spin in a phone shop. Shaverfon, get Dan to Sinclair. The moment I met you, no, that's it. The moment I met you, I swear. Yeah, solely. If you just want to buy a pleasing frag, Jez is the man to watch. Yeah, I mean, he knows what's popular. He knows what people like. Cherie V, late chiming in, excited to be able to join from Australia. What fragrances did you discover this year which contain notes you don't typically gravitate? I always say gravitate, I don't know why, gravitate towards. Let's think. Well, I've just discovered Dendera by Centauri, which I've got here. That's got oud in it, but actually, I forgot to say this earlier, I haven't really picked up on the oud. So whatever the oud is doing, it's not doing the thing I don't like when I smell oud. So Dendera is rose, incense and spices and smoke, and it's really, really good. It's Peter from Fragrance Views channel, from the Fragrance View channel, his perfume, Dendera, the one in the red bottle. It's good, it's really good, and that's got oud in it, and yeah, I'm really liking it. So we'll go with that one to start with. If I can think of any others, I've forgotten. I just had a moment and then I forgot again. Oh, The Lover's Tale by Francesca Bianchi, because that's a leather fragrance, and leather's one of my least favourite notes yet. In The Lover's Tale, it's more of a suede, silky, smooth thing that I really like. Rich Mitch, mine comments. I'm not sure if I think I know where you're going with this, so just don't. If I'm understanding you correctly, don't go there. Niles, when I comment on Jeremy's videos, I often get told that I'm jealous of Jeremy's popularity with the women, so I am gay. So that's not it. Yeah, it's Fragrance Army will come after you, and they are dumb. I hate using that word, but yeah, it's stupid. Okay, Rich Mitch, I've misunderstood you. That's good. That's good. So we have now gone on for something like more than 2 hours, I think. So Dan is loving Queer Soya by Francesca Bianchi. So I blind bought that one and lent it to Dan. He really liked it. I'm liking it. I'm just finding it slightly odd to start with, but I love it later on. It's just the opening slightly strange. Rich Mitch, mine comments aren't coming through. Oh, what on Jeremy's channel, you mean? Is that because you're trolling him, Rich? Okay, Rich Mitch, didn't get any cream crackers for Christmas. I have no fucking clue what you're going on about now, Rich. I had cream crackers last night. Me and my friend Lisa. Dan, you remember Lisa? Um, she might watch this, so be nice. Lisa's lovely. She can be a bit wild. Anyway, we went to the Huntsman and watched a band, and Lisa did some like kind of lots of dancing in a very folky kind of way, and it was quite fun. She was trying to make me dance. She managed to get me to dance to Lionel Richie, but that was it. And then we came back here and we got the crackers out and we stuffed our faces with crackers. So there you go. That's my cream cracker story. What's yours? Rich, no, it's because I kept say cream crackers. Oh, what, as in, no, I don't know. Yeah, Dan, absolutely. When I met Jeremy, he was very charming. He was lovely. He said something really nice to me and gave me a hug. He complimented me on my perfume and he seemed really genuine. So that's, yeah, that was the Jeremy I met, and you spoke to him on the phone, and likewise he said he was lovely on the phone. So yeah. Da-da-da-da. Which usually get a big orange box of cream crackers and various biscuits, but not this time. So what did I have? Jacobs, were they Jacobs? I've forgotten we've got a big box, but they're all gone now because yeah, we munched out massively last night. Dan remembers Lisa, yeah. The Sentient Man, Raj. Hi, Raj. I mentioned you earlier. When you watched, if you get a chance and you watch the video back, you get a little bit of a shout out from me. I think everyone should watch your channel because you're back and it's great to have you back. So if anyone doesn't know Raj from the Sentient Man, most of you, if you've been around a while, you will do. But if you don't, go and click on him and have a look at his channel because he's just done a review on the new Frederick Mal Queer Rose and Queer. You know the one I mean, the latest Frederick Mal. Mr. Smelly, get out of his arse, Dan. Leave it. I think Dan's just trying to undo the damage. Jeremy's actually a nice human being on the phone, but in the videos he's a little wild. Yeah, George, the Fragrance Apprentice. Yeah, and obviously you met him in real life as well. Very charming. So I hope the real life version is the real version, and the sometimes unusual behaviour is fake. I don't know. Stephen, people can have a different public and private persona, definitely. Rich Mitch keeps retracting his messages. What are you up to, Rich? I'm starting to think I might have to take your tool away from you, Rich. Poseidon, Fragrance Apprentice, happy with Jeremy's video review on you. Yeah, let's see if George feels like answering that. Stephen, a lot of people say Donald Trump is very charming in private. Okay, Dan, Sentient Man, it's a great channel. Yes. Raj is saying thanks. Rich Mitch, at Christmas I usually get a big orange box of Jacob's crackers, etc. I didn't get any this year, so I'm just nibbling straight up cheese. Finally, Rich, you get to the bottom of what you're going on about. Enjoy your cheese. Have you got any chutney? If you put a bit of chutney on, it'd be a bit more interesting. Rich keeps pressing send before. Do you know what, Rich? It's a problem that a lot of guys have. Have you had a little drink? Because that can sometimes cause it. Homemade chutters. Poseidon, so George is saying he was bewildered. Honestly, it was lovely being number 2, but there were so many backhanded compliments in that video that I didn't get the worst, and I didn't get the worst of it. No, I can't really remember now all of the things that were said about different people, but I can't say I'm jealous that I wasn't featured. But people probably think I am jealous, and that's what everything was all about. But yeah, he didn't really have anything nice to say about anyone. The kind of good thing he said was that they're in his list, therefore they must be good, but he didn't qualify that with why. And then he said some kind of criticizing things about the majority of them. Excuse me. I think Robes 08 got away. Robes was Robes 08 was in there, wasn't he? I think Robes got away scot-free. I don't think he got any criticism, but most people got criticism. DC Jim, need to watch that video. You really, honestly, you don't. I mean, I had curiosity probably, but yeah, you really don't. Mr. Smelly Greg's cheese and chutney toasted sandwich is to die for. I love a toasted sandwich. There's nothing like a toasted sandwich, nothing. But you eat one, you want another. Fact. Poseidon, a million people hearing about you can't be a bad thing, right? Yeah. So obviously there is that, you know, there's free publicity, and all publicity is good publicity. So from that from that perspective, that it's great for the guys. I'm sure that that they might have got some more followers, etc. from that. Surprised he didn't mention Demi. Demi is lovely, but she doesn't really put any effort into her channel. What do you mean by that? I mean, what do you mean by that? I don't understand, because as far as I can see her, she does nice videos. Maybe not loads of production, but she's obviously attractive. She always looks really nice. So yeah, do expand Poseidon. So Dan watched Jeremy's video in 30 seconds by skipping through to see who was in it, and then slammed my laptop down in anger. Yes, I am jealous. I actually thought, I was watching it thinking maybe you'll get a mention, Dan. So looks like you're a nobody now, and George and Sense, Ashton and Mark, they're the men, you know. So George was happy for the exposure. It helped. My year summed up. I was second best on a list that wasn't very good and not many people liked. Oh, George. Dan, I'm jealous of you, George. So no music, no intro, no ending. Okay. That's Demi you're talking about. Yeah, I thought he would have mentioned Demi because she's the next biggest. Is she the next biggest channel to him for frags? Correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am wrong. I'm generally are. George doesn't get the girls and he doesn't go out. Oh, honestly, that was really, I thought that was a bitchy little comment from him. Marino tried to watch the video, but a bit too cringe. But to be contrary, who knows, maybe he thought he was being constructive, no idea. George is saying, Rich Mitch, ask your mother. Are we going to go there, are we? George, what's your scent of the night, please? If you're going to come in and start pretending or start saying that you've had Rich's mum, you at least need to share your scent of the night with everybody here. I'm just topping up the water into my drink. George is actively terrified of Ferrari time. Oh my God, does that sound pervy? I bet he says that to the girls as well. I bet he does. Do you like some Ferrari time? Rich Mitch, the Spanish Portuguese language fragcom has multiple six-figure channels. Okay, yeah, I only know about the English speaking stuff. So That's interesting. So maybe Europeans are more into frags. They've got a bigger community, perhaps. Neil's, the video was him telling us why he's better than those on the list. Yeah, that's the impression that I got. Soli's wearing D&G the One. Anyone have some layering combos to speak of? I don't really. I do generally wear more than one fragrance, but I don't have any specific thing that I go to that I think is great. Yesterday I wore Portrait of a Lady up here, and I wore Bois d'Harmonie from Guerlain here, and that worked well because I always feel like Portrait of a Lady needs a little bit more sweetness because it's got some vanilla, but the vanilla's not that pronounced, so I wanted to wear something fairly simplistic and add some vanilla, and also slightly incensey as well, which goes with the incenses of Portrait of a Lady, although they're very different incenses, but all together smelling good. Well, I thought so anyway. Mr. Smelly, I think Demi is second, just ahead of Adolescence. Not that I check other channel subcats twice every day or anything. Rich Mitch, your more is in play. Sense of Me, have you sniffed Peter's liquids already, Smurfy? Do you have to put it like that? Yes, I have. I have, so I've got the Far Dry Down of Dendera. It looks like my battery is about to die on my phone, so I will have to call it quits very, very soon. But I'm going to, long and the short of it is I really like Dendera. That's more me. It's incensey, rose, very dry, spicy, smoky, lots of development. I've had it on my skin now for over 10 hours on this hand, still going strong, so longevity is fantastic. It's got kind of like sweet, musky. The vetiver is very grassy, and that comes out in the sort of mid notes and into the dry down. So Dendera is my favourite, and then over here is Gaia, which I described earlier. The dry down now is like, is your skin but better, but you kind of probably need a shower soon, like not filthy dirty, but get in there. And on paper, where I sprayed it earlier, very chalky, a little bit sweet. It's an abstract floral element. I wouldn't necessarily pick out the fact that it's tuberose. Chalky, mineral, translucent, very effusive. Orris, ambergris, bit sweet, not too sweet. Really good. Massive thumbs up from me. I think he's done an amazing job. Have you tried them? Sense of Me, have you tried them? Just have a look at the comments. Oh, comments, come on. So George is saying to Mr. Smelly, I might be the second most complimenting fragrance YouTuber of 2019, but nothing can compare to the Smelly Army and its majestic leader. Oh, hilarious. Benjamin, gotta go. So Centauri, nice to see you. Thanks for popping by. And yeah, thanks for joining in for so long as well, Benjamin. It's been a pleasure. Dan is saying that Junior Barrieros is at 296,000 subscribers. Rich Mitch is saying someone do a stream. Yeah, someone else wants to do a stream. Start now because my phone's going to die. So if everyone wants to then carry on chatting, you can. Remember to like this video. Thank you, Niels, if that's what you're telling people, to like my video. Thank you very much. Sense of Me sounds interesting. Really, it is. Yeah, honestly, I'm massively impressed. George's scent of the night is SM Cafe. What's that? SM Cafe. What is SM Cafe? I don't know. I know Intense Cafe. Is it Strangest one? Let me know what that is. And then I am going to have to call it quits because my phone will die. Strangers. Okay, yeah, I know, yeah. That's not the weird one, is it? That's funky, vomit and blood and stuff. I don't think it is. Isn't that sombre? Oh, I get them all mixed up. I might have a decant somewhere of that, but I don't know. I'm going to say goodnight, everyone. If someone wants to do a live stream, George or Dan, Sense of Me, Benjamin's gone now, but if one of you guys wants to do a live stream and so you can all carry on chatting, then go ahead. Obviously don't need my permission or anything, but it's a good idea from Rich if you all want to do that. But I really have to go because the phone is going to die, and we'll rather press the button and end it properly. So I kind of feel bad that this went into a bit of a Jeremy thing, so I kind of regret that already, but what's done is done. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you for joining in. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you all soon. Much love. Cheers. Ooh.